Hello and welcome to the 4th episode of the Bottom Shelf Podcast, a comedy podcast about everything and nothing with me, Tyler.
And me, Mikey.
Mikey, how have you been?
Do you ever just
Oh, God.
stop and think of if you could just go away to live up in the mountains and spend the rest of your life making a show about hunting monsters in the wild? Because, you know, shows like Alaska Monsters, Mountain Monsters, Finding Bigfoot, whatever. It's just this group of hicks running around in the woods at night, screaming at nothing. And I was just thinking, like, how the fuck do you even get to that point where you're like, okay, pitching this show to a studio, and it's like, there's 50 billion other shows like this. How do they get the go-ahead? It
depends on the monster, what they're trying to find.
Yeah, but like in Alaska Monsters and Mountain Monsters, they're going after everything. Chupacabras, Bigfoot, Yetis, fucking you name it, they're going to try to catch it. And it's always the best thing because it's like the ghost hunting shows are the same thing.
Yeah.
It's even better when it's hicks looking for ghosts because that like takes it another step up.
It's like if the guys from Duck Dynasty started looking for monsters.
Yeah.
That's the show
exactly what Alaska Monsters is.
Awesome.
Man, it's crazy. Like, I watched a bit of it, and it's just how it's just every episode's the same thing. It's they go out at night, they set up this elaborate trap that their tech guy makes, and they're like, oh, he's always got them gadgets, he knows what he's doing, he's got them drones, and they like drone around and get footage. Never of anything, of course.
Of course, no.
But yeah, so they set up these traps, and just nothing ever happens. They'll be like, no, we gotta get back to the trap, I heard something over there. And then they get back, and there's nothing, and they're like, oh, he must have broke out, the meat's gone. That's that damn Sasquatch. He escaped. So I really just thought, I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, what, you just film for like a night screaming at nothing and pretending you hear sounds or see anything. Like in the one episode, they have these, like a thermal camera. And they're like, oh man, he's got this crazy gadget, this thermal here camera. And you see like just the heat signature of something run into the woods, but it's like, that could be just a person.
Anything.
Yeah. There's also an episode where one of them gets pulled into a swamp by something, and they all come up and they're like, oh god, he's being pulled in. Oh, no. It's definite proof that there's something out there. And they always interview these local people. I wonder how much they pay them to lie.
Oh, a
or
lot.
Are these people just crazy and they're actually like, no, I saw the Sasquatch, he got my daddy.
No, they probably give him like $1,000, and they're like, hey,
just read the script, sir, please.
We'll hold up these cue cards and you just read them.
We could go into the mountains, build a cabin or shack or whatever, like start our own show.
Yep.
Call it like BC Beasts, the Beasts of BC.
Oh yeah, there we go. Some sort of alliteration.
Yeah, exactly. Done. Then we just walk around in the woods, set up cameras that never film anything, but then we just like get a guy in a suit to kind of walk way in the distance where it's really blurry in the dark and be like, oh, what was that? We'd obviously have accents because, you know, you can't have these shows without that. They have like one guy, the tech guy doesn't have an accent, and then he just kind of disappears one episode because nobody liked watching him.
He wasn't hick enough.
No. And you could tell he's always just like, oh yeah, I'm kind of happy to be here. Oh man.
I'm kind of happy.
I like the pay, I guess.
I could have a better job, but this one pays.
But the best thing is Mountain Monsters is actually like CG animals, like Bigfoot, and try to say that it's real. There's no way they're actually taking it seriously, I don't think. But they set up this whole elaborate trap to catch chupacabras, and then Bigfoot broke the chupacabras out.
What? Bigfoot is teaming up with chupacabras.
Yeah, in like the
He's their
Pacific
friends.
Northwest. It's not even close to Mexico or anything. It all
Man,
makes
these
sense.
shows are awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
If I had a show like that, I wouldn't want to like do anything. I wouldn't want to film. I just want to be in the mountains.
Yeah, exactly. But you could probably do that most of the time. I doubt they film that much.
Yeah, you maybe film like 5 hours in a day.
Probably, if even.
Because it's gotta be like nothing.
Yeah, it's probably like the easiest thing in the world.
And then
I cannot
for the rest of the
imagine
day.
that taking much effort at all to come up with. Like most shows, even ones I don't like, I'll be like, okay, there's effort put into that. These ones, I'm like, okay, yeah, someone built that trap, which was just a big cylinder with meat in it, and a door that would close so Bigfoot would be stuck because he can't climb out of a cylinder. But yeah, man, that would be the life. Just hanging out in the woods, hunting monsters.
Yeah. Did you think about that? Because we went hiking yesterday.
Yeah. I was like, man, I'd love to just live out here and look for chupacabras and Bigfoot and Jersey Devils. Not in New Jersey, though.
The BC Devils.
Yeah, exactly.
The BC Beasties.
We just take that sound clip. It's perfect. But yeah, other than thinking of mountain monsters, we saw Baby Driver this week.
Yeah.
And my God, it was phenomenal.
Fucking incredible.
That is easily my favorite film of the last long time. Even other like movies in the past few years that I've liked a lot haven't, as like stupid and corny and dumb as it sounds, like restored my love of filmmaking. Because watching Baby Driver was just such a clear passion shown in it that I just couldn't help but be enamored by how much effort was put into this movie, and like every aspect of it, every little detail was so fucking well thought out. I was thinking about it too, and there's nothing really I didn't like, I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I never thought about that either.
Yeah.
Talking to, or like trying to recommend it, there's never like a point where I'm like, well, there's like one dumb part, but no.
Yeah. And I think it'll take a lot for any other movie this year to even come close to that for me. As much as other things like Spider-Man looking real promising, and me being so, having Spider-Man be such a large part of my like my childhood and stuff is like, yeah, I'll love that probably because it means a lot to me. But and then it's weird that this month there's a new Spider-Man movie and a Crash Bandicoot game. It's like 10-year-old me's wet dream all in 1 month.
Yep.
It's weird. But yeah, man. Baby Driver, everybody, if you have not seen it, go see it because that needs as much support as it can get.
Yeah.
Don't go see stupid fucking phoned in studio movies over this. I know you all want to see them, but come on.
Yeah, don't go see Transformers and go
I don't
see
think
Baby
anyone
Driver
saw
instead.
that. That was another thing this year that had like its worst opening ever.
Yeah. That's because people are sick of it now.
And then the Earth is a transformer.
What?
I'm pretty sure that's a thing in the new movie.
Earth
that
is
the
a
Earth is
transformer.
like Cybertron's enemy. Or some just I don't know anything about Transformers, so sorry to people who actually give a shit about children's toys, but it's like, it seems like Michael Bay would have just been like, you know, I'm gonna make this movie so no one can possibly follow it up with anything because I don't want this to continue without me.
Right.
And then
So
he'll go and make some other dumb movie.
Yeah.
He's a visionary. I love him. He'll make Pain and Gain 2.
No.
Pain and Gain 1 was okay.
I think I watched half of it.
It's alright.
And I was like, this is pretty boring.
Yeah. It has its moments.
I think it's too long.
As far as his films go,
It's a better one.
It's no Bad Boys or The Rock, but
Yeah, The Rock is awesome.
The Rock is like ridiculous. It makes no sense that he made that movie to me. That he could go from that to what he's doing now. Hopefully he scales it back a bit and just stops. But he won't. Why would he? Those films are like an industry themselves now.
Yeah, he needs more Nick Cage. Go back to Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Go back to Ed
Cage.
Harris.
Nick Cage and everything now. But yeah, we should probably move on. What?
I was going to say, bring Sean Connery out of retirement. Bring him back, please.
Everyone misses him.
Yep.
They want more advice on hitting their wives and stuff.
Oh,
Poor Sean.
you, Sean.
He's a horrible man, but a great actor. So that's what really counts. Just like Mel Gibson.
But you are right. We should move on to our first segment, topics. Who would like to go first? Mikey? Me?
Yeah, let's do this one. Get it out of the way because it's probably going to take a while.
Yeah.
Mine this week was because I am fascinated with histories of serial killers. As morbid or whatever you may think it is, they're undeniably fascinating. I'm not condoning what they do or saying like,
yeah, obviously,
I support this shit. I'm just saying it's interesting to learn about
the
just
human
how
psyche.
messed up people can be in a way. And really, to me, it's how some people got away with it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
So I posed the question to you of find some of the most interesting cases of serial killers you could and kind of inform everybody about them.
I have 1, 2, and then my third one is like the buy one get one.
Okay.
It's actually 2 serial killer cases that connected.
What?
Yeah. I'll talk about later, but I'll talk about the first one. Since we live in British Columbia, I figured I'd do BC's very own serial killer, Robert Pickton, also known as like the pig farmer, the pig killer.
The pig farmer.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of scary because it was recent. Like, I think I was reading something and it was like the case is still technically like open. 2010 was like a court date where they were still discussing it. But Robert Pickton was from Port Coquitlam, so kind of close to us.
Yeah, I lived close to there for a bit.
Oh, yeah?
It was like a 10-minute drive from where I was.
Yeah. He claims he killed 49 people.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And like exactly how he killed his people is like not really known. But according to like witness on tape, he would take his victims, who were all prostitutes, and he'd take them to the farm, kill them, and he'd like wood chipper them and then feed them to his pigs or like meat grinder them. And then people would also say that he would like meat grinder them, package them, and give them to friends and family.
No.
Yeah, like if someone back home was like, "Hey, I killed a deer. You want a little bit of it?" Yeah,
that would be the worst.
I know.
You never know. It's
but
like...
I was thinking like Picton Pork.
Oh no,
that's a good name.
Yeah, it is.
If he was still around.
Man, I wonder how long. Like, is there like a time span of when he was doing
83 to 2002.
Christ, man.
And everyone apparently was like chewing out RCMP and VPD, Vancouver Police Department, because it took them so long to like do anything about it. Because I think everyone thinks they didn't care because what he was taking was like prostitutes and like people who were like drug abusers and stuff from like shitty part of town. But still, it's fucked up.
Man, like, I'm just thinking of how would you feel to be one of the people who bought this guy's pork or meat or whatever for all these years, and then like one day in 2000, whenever he got caught, you're just like looking at the newspaper in the morning. You flip the page, or it'll be on the front page, I'm sure, and you're like, wait a minute, I bought meat from that guy every year. And just seeing that and being like, oh god, like, man,
does that make you a cannibal?
Yeah,
he's
unwilling one, but you were. Got the taste for that long pig.
Fucking Picton.
Man, I guess I'll go over mine now because it's somewhat similar to that of. So mine is of a gentleman by the name of David Parker Ray, also known as the Toy Box Killer.
Ooh.
So he would kidnap women, all from the same, I think, bar area place close to him. He lived in New Mexico.
Mm.
So he drugged them. So then they'd wake up blindfolded and gagged and tied to a chair and stuff, and like with a message of himself playing, telling them like what's going on, like being like, hey, you're in like gonna be fucking tortured and like all this messed up shit. But see, the real kicker here, he would do all this stuff to them. I'm not gonna go too much into it because it's really like really fucked up shit that he would do to these people. With his friends, by the way, would come watch certain sexual perversions happen to these women.
It would be like if Jigsaw had an audience.
Yeah, of friends who live around him that come over to watch, you know, him torture people and stuff. And his wife as well helped.
What?
So he would, before either letting them go, to some of them possibly, or killing them, because this is similar in the way that nobody knows how many victims he actually had. There was only 2 that they actually had, and there's like suspected up to 40 to 60 from I think like 1970 to 2002.
Holy shit.
Because he had a list of names with like checks of what he did, and he was gonna tell them where he buried bodies and stuff, but then he died in prison.
Oh fuck.
And the thing he did that makes this like crazy to me is he hypnotized these women by drugging them with certain drugs, I forget what they are, and then hypnotizing them to make them forget events that happened. So he would like psychologically fuck with them so much they wouldn't remember. And the one victim they actually interrogated about it after thought it was all like a dream until they started asking her about it, and then she like started remembering everything.
Oh fuck.
And it's like, so how many people are out there that just like for the longest time, or just still thought it was just a crazy dream of being like this horrible nightmare that happened? And I was like, man, okay, say what you will about this man's fucked up mental state, you have to be pretty determined and good at like to hypnotize someone to that extent that they forget what happened. It's crazy. like not just killing people all the time. I'm sure he killed a lot of people, God knows. Like it's crazy. But yeah, just to hypnotize someone to forget that they were ever tortured and stuff, and to have that work for God knows how long until someone just happened to escape.
Yeah. How powerful is that? Like, hypnotize? Like, what drugs? This is insane.
Where? Okay, so he used sodium pentothal and phenobarbital. They're both hypnotic drugs that make you more susceptible to hypnosis. So yeah, he would just give them that and then kind of like drug them continuously for days with that stuff. I guess it's more like, imagine just continually being drugged by something and then being like suggested that nothing actually happened.
Yeah.
You'd probably wake up and be like, did I just get drugged out of my mind and not like you wouldn't know if it was happened or not. But yeah, I just thought this was like, there's like short documentaries and stuff about it too, of just like, it's crazy to me.
That whole like making them think it's like a dream or some made up thing reminds me of Community. When they kidnap Troy and they take him to like the air repair, and he's like, no one will believe this. Like, why is there an astronaut in the corner making paninis? And then at the end he's like, thank you, Black Hitler. And Black Hitler walks out. It's kind of like that, where even if you were to talk to someone about it, they'd be like, okay, that's fucked up. Like, that's a dream.
Yeah, exactly. But I had this dream where this guy kidnapped me and held me in his sex dungeon for weeks, and he'd be like, oh man, that's messed up. But
yeah.
It's just the things he did were so like to the extent that messed up that you wouldn't think it happened.
Which is so fucked.
Yeah. I think his sentence for prison too before he died was 224 years.
I would hope so.
Yeah. And that was on just the 2 victims and the evidence that there was more.
Yeah.
But then he had to die, so he got like none of that. I think it was just like a heart attack or something too, so.
Fucker.
Yeah. Just crazy.
My next one is a doozy. Oh, God. Richard Trenton Chase.
Okay.
The
Sounds
vampire
enough.
of Sacramento.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Because he drank the blood of his victims and ate their internal organs.
No.
But he did this as part of another Sorry. As part of a delusion that he needed to prevent Nazis from turning his blood into powder via poison they planted beneath his soap dish.
Okay. Like, where do you even fucking start with this guy?
Yeah.
This is like that Nazi putting poison. That's like reptilian level shit of him just thinking the new, like, the Illuminati is out to get him, of the secret Nazi Hydra Society planting poison in his soap dish.
I'll explain it.
My God.
Because he interviews an FBI profiler and he explains how you can tell if you have poisoned blood or not. So we'll start at the beginning of Richard Trenton Chase. Mm-hmm. Obviously bad childhood, abusive dad.
Of course, yep.
He was alcoholic as a teen
Oh.
and killed animals a lot.
Well, yeah, okay, sure, signs.
But then, yeah, whatever. I think it was like they suggested that he like did psychological help in high school or something, and his mom was like, nah.
Oh.
So then in his adulthood, sorry, he gets committed first because he had blood poisoning from injecting rabbit's blood into his veins.
What the fuck?
But then, yeah, so he spent his time there and he was deemed no longer a threat to society. And this is another thing. The hospital suggested that he takes like anti-schizophrenia medication or like shit like that. And his mom again was like, no, it'll be fine.
Do you think whoever the person was that signed the papers that let him out was like years later saw everything and was like,
as he's signing, like, nope.
Or I guess, like, even at that point, it's like people are probably just like, what can we even do here?
Yeah.
Like, we can prescribe this medication, and then he doesn't even fucking take it. So
exactly. It's like... So then he gets out, moves in with his mom, and then his dad is like, well, this is stupid. So his dad buys him an apartment.
Nice. Okay, yeah.
So he's living with himself.
Mm-hmm.
He's capturing and killing all kinds of animals. And he's making smoothies out of them.
Oh.
And he explains that it was to prevent his heart from shrinking in fear that it would disappear completely and he would die. So he's like drinking ground up animal smoothies like cats, raccoons, dogs, and shit.
Like raw?
Yeah, mate. He just plops them in the blender.
Does he like skin them first?
Yeah. I think he like cuts them open and it's more like the entrails, not just. You toss a full raccoon in the blender.
It's like the scene in Rocky, but with raw animal carcasses instead of raw eggs.
Exactly. So he has like this place by himself, and he starts buying guns and practicing how to shoot, and he's just eating a lot.
Wait, what year was this?
Oh shit, 78.
There's your gun laws that someone with schizophrenia can go. Again, I don't know how he obtained these. I'm assuming he just went to a store and got them.
I believe that's what it was. Yeah. And then he just like went to the range and practiced.
Okay. Yeah. Gotta practice.
Yeah. Oh, I got a little side note because he becomes fascinated with crimes of the Hillside Strangler, who I didn't look up. But that name, geez.
Classic. He's probably like one of the serial killer idols. They're like
one of the OGs.
That's like it's like in a superhero story when it's like I looked up to like Miles Morales being like I looked up to Peter Parker Spider-Man. He's like I looked up to the Hillside Strangler. Like, what the hell?
But he thought that the Strangler was also a victim of the Nazi/UFO conspiracy that he believed he was a part of. Where did the UFOs come in?
Alien Nazis.
This one, hold on, this is really good. One day in 1977, Chase rang his mother's doorbell and greeted her by thrusting a dead cat in her face. He then threw the cat on the ground, knelt down, ripped its stomach open with his bare hands, stuck his hands inside the cat, smeared the blood all over his face while screaming at the top of his lungs. And his mother calmly returned inside the house and did not report the incident to anyone.
No, that's normal. I mean, I can see why she wouldn't report that.
But, like, imagine. Mom, if I ever come home, throw a dead cat on the ground, smear its blood all over my face, you report that shit. You don't just, like, okay, close the door and go back to watching Netflix.
No, see, it's like Bates Motel and, like, Psycho, where his mother's just trying to protect her son, even though he's clearly a fucked up psychopath.
So at this point, he hasn't actually killed anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, bang, he just decides to. So it's like his first victim, he just, like, shoots him. And then he kind of, like, goes house to house.
Oh, no.
And if they're not home, he'll, like, the one thing said, like, a couple came home and they found him, like, defecating on their son's bed.
Oh.
Like, he just goes in, fucks shit up, and leaves.
Stuff and leaves.
Yeah.
God.
And then, then there was, like, a bad, like, neighborhood get together. This is what he's known for. It's just like a big mass shooting that he kills everyone. Yep.
How would that help him get
Oh, because he kills and bathes in the blood of their victims, like fills up their bathtubs and like chills in there. And like I think one of the excerpts or one of the quotes was like he would take like a yogurt cup and he would like sit in the bathroom and just like fill up the yogurt cup and drink. And it's like thanks for posing this question to me, Mike, you asshole. I was like sitting there reading like, this is fucked, man.
How long did he do this? Did he get caught like right after the mass shooting?
He gets caught super easily.
Okay, yeah.
The police show up at his apartment and look around and like find all these belongings. Like he'd take like wallets and shit. So he's dumb. Yeah. And also during that like big neighborhood mass shooting, he was like just stomping around. So there's like perfect bloody like footprints of his shoes and like his handprints are like on the wall and shit. And,
Well, I think people like that fucked up aren't. That's not like the serial killers that are super fascinating to me are the ones that are really intelligent. I would say this guy was clearly just out of his goddamn mind and got caught quickly because he just didn't give a shit and just thought he was getting trained by Nazis or something. Whatever.
Needed that blood, yeah. So he gets sentenced to death, gas chamber. But I didn't know this. FBI profilers, they like travel across the country and they interview killers to add more like info about criminal psychology to their database. So Robert Resler, he's an FBI profiler. He interviewed Rich, and Resler asked him like, "What is soap dish poisoning?" And then Chase was like, "Everyone has a soap dish, right? So it's like if you lift the soap and find that underneath it's dry, you're all right. But if it's gooey and soapy, you've got poisoning. The Nazis have poisoned you." So it's like, and then if you got the poisoning, then your blood's gonna turn to powder, and the powder like depletes your energy and eats at your body.
Or that's just like soap residue.
Exactly. So it's like, fuck, I'm never going to wash my hands because when I put that wet bar of soap down on my soap dish and I lift it up later, I got poisoning.
Yeah, exactly. This guy, I think he was in on it, that he knew the secrets of the world. That's why they killed him.
Yeah. And then Chase said he's also Jewish, which he wasn't.
Oh, Okay.
And that he'd been persecuted by Nazis because he had the Star of David on his forehead, which he didn't.
What?
But then he explains that Nazis were connected to UFOs, which had telepathically commanded him to kill to replenish his blood.
Why would the UFOs tell him to do that if they were working with the Nazis?
I don't know. He's got a good plan. He's got a good story.
What?
So these UFOs followed him around, and he was like, hey, you should be able to tell where they are. Just give me a radar.
Mm-hmm.
And then he, like, grabbed a bunch of macaroni and cheese from his pockets and gave it to the FBI profiler and said, check for poisoning. Can you imagine just interviewing someone and they whip out pocket macaroni and cheese and they just throw it on the table?
Yeah, we'll check this shit.
Yeah.
It's poison.
He killed himself. He actually didn't get gas. He was in prison and he saved up all these like antidepressant sleeping pills. So from like the weekly when he was supposed to take them, he didn't. So he just saved up a bunch and killed himself.
What a guy.
What a great guy.
What a vampire.
Richard Trenton
Man.
Chase.
People.
Yeah.
Okay, what was the last?
Oh, the last. This is a short one.
Uh-huh.
Because it's like what are the odds?
Yeah.
So there's Derek Lee Todd,
Mm-hmm.
the Baton Rouge serial killer.
Oh.
And then there's Sean Vincent Gillis, the other Baton Rouge serial killer.
Where they just both happen to be killing people in Baton Rouge at the same time.
So I think is it Derek Todd Lee? No, Derek Lee Todd.
Okay.
So he was killing a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
And started getting blames for killings that were actually Gillis's, the other.
Oh.
So Gillis was pissed, and he started killing more. And he was like, see?
Boy.
Like, I'm a totally different dude.
I have my own style, guys.
And then Derek Lee Todd was still getting the credit. And then Todd was arrested, and he was like, yeah, I didn't do that one. Or that one.
God.
And then a year later, Gillis gets arrested. And on his laptop, they find a folder that says Derek Lee Todd. And it has like all the news stories and info about his killing. And then Gillis, he tells the police he was pissed because he was getting like outdone by Todd. It's just like, I could just imagine them interviewing him. And he's like, Gillis is like, I'm the Baton Rouge serial killer. And they're like, what? No. You're the other Baton Rouge serial killer. And he's like, Todd's the original. He's the OG.
No.
Yeah. He's like, no. Just so stupid.
I guess that goes into the whole thing of serial killers doing what they do because they want to be remembered, and like no, which I guess we're kind of going into now and giving them what they wanted. But fuck it, it's interesting. It's crazy and horrible, but yeah, that's just ridiculous. Oh yeah, didn't you say there was something weird they found in Pigman's house? Oh yeah,
sorry, Picton. So when they searched his farm, they found like night vision goggles, like faux fur handcuffs. Like sex handcuffs, and a .22 revolver with a dildo strapped to the barrel, which he later explained was his makeshift silencer. So he just
what?
So I want this to happen in an action movie, please. If
it would be like Deadpool, I could see Deadpool doing that.
Dildo silencer, please.
Like most people in like movies, you see them use like bottles or whatever.
Yeah.
You'd think he'd just do that.
You think he would?
But not dildo. I could see that working. It's all
right.
Well, it's silicone, rubber. That'll work well. Okay, we'll move on from there for a really short next topic or next question. So,
I pose the topic to you. Come up with any sport. Any new sport, any play of a sport, something. tell us how a game would go down or some shit, or what are the rules?
Okay. Playing it fast and loose here. Didn't really think of all these fancy rules or anything.
Who knows?
So, my sport is called Glover.
What?
No association with the old Glover game. So, in it, everybody wears giant, like, you know, those Mickey Mouse hands?
Oh, yeah.
They wear those big gloves, like giant.
Uh-huh.
And they also wear those cowboy hats that have the beer cans in them that you, like, drink from, that it goes into your mouth.
Yeah. The straw into the mouth, yeah.
So they have those on. The goal of the game, there's a big, like, inflatable, bouncy ball.
Okay.
That you can hit with anything but your gloves. So, the goal, if you touch it with your gloves, you're fucking, no,
You're
foul.
out.
And reset.
Oh.
So it's like if you were to, like, touch a soccer ball with your hands.
Yeah.
So, yeah. They pretty much have to get the ball into the goal. They're big nets on each side.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever gets scored on has to drink the entirety of their current hat in one go. So pretty much every point would lead the opposing team to get more and more drunk
as
the game went on.
They couldn't even play.
So by the end of this game, say it's like a real crazy game where it's like fucking 10-10. That's 20 cans of beer that they could have gone through.
Man,
so yeah,
it's so obliterated.
it would just be a group. It would be 10 on 10 players on each side.
God, cleaning up that. I'm guessing it's played on a field.
Yes,
cleaning up that field after it would be so much puke.
Yeah, they pretty much just choose to completely put new AstroTurf over the old one.
They don't even bother cleaning it up, but the stench stays.
Because, see, most of the audience joins in the drinking by doing the same thing of if you're cheering for whatever team, you do it too.
Nice.
So the audience is all just completely fucked too. So yeah, pretty much
a
the
really
end of this
safe
game
environment.
would just be people stumbling around, like hitting the ball, getting fouls every 2 seconds because they have these stupid giant hands on that
Mickey
they can't do anything with.
That's awesome.
And yeah, I think that's the sport of the future.
Do you have what's it called?
Glover.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry. Right, Glover.
The sport in which you don't use your gloves. You just wear these stupid big gloves all the time. Because I was either thinking this, like, future sports, because they're going to have to change them, because no one fucking gives a shit about any sports anymore. They're
That's
like,
true.
Whatever, technology's ruining them. They're getting fucking boring. Get that shit out of here.
Totally.
We're going to eventually move to death sports, like in movies like Death Race and the Running Man stuff. Like, that's what we need to get to.
Mm-hmm.
But I figured drinking is the logical middle step there, is to just get sports. It'll start with just, like, hockey. People will start drinking more as they're playing and just, like, slipping on the ice and bashing their faces in and stuff.
Yeah.
'Cause,
NHL will be the new beer league.
yeah, exactly. Didn't people try that for some sport? Like, actually try a drinking thing like that? I might be crazy.
Not that I remember.
I think it was like a weird football thing that was on Spike TV or something a long time ago.
Well, I could see Spike doing
Yeah.
that.
So Spike will bring it back, except I don't know if anyone watches Spike anymore or if it exists anymore, really.
Do they do, like, MXC on Spike? Do they do MXC
Probably.
reruns?
Yeah. Well,
I'd watch that.
yeah. That's about all for the sport that I had. Kept it short and sweet. Really just a good time for all involved.
I'd play.
And usually the games will be like back-to-back days too, so the next day they wake up and they're like, oh, fuck.
So hungover. Are these like perfect physical specimens, or they're just like fat dudes?
You can choose. Like, usually, like, a goalie will be really fat.
Oh yeah,
You'll want him
dude.
to be bigger.
Yeah.
Defense can be kind of a mix, but your offense, you want to be real physical specimens that are just like the peak of mankind. And then just getting fucking so that means their training would have to be even more because they're getting all these fucking excess calories from all the beer and shit. They'll probably lose some from throwing up.
Oh, I'm sure.
But yeah, they gotta like really go hard on their training.
Yeah, I had one because you said blood sport.
Mm-hmm.
I had one set in a forest.
Yep.
Kind of like Hunger Games, but it's like UFC, MMA in a forest with trampolines on the ground. So the ground is trampoline. It's all trampoline. And the only way you can score a point is if you get a knockout in the air.
Oh, okay.
So you have to jump at each other and punch each other in the face.
Well, that'd be sweet. So wait, it's in a forest. So there's like trees around the trampolines?
Yeah.
So you could like jump and then like foot off a tree and punch a guy.
Yes.
And do real cool shit.
Yes.
So you would hope, would you get actual like UFC MMA fighter people?
If they wanted,
Or could just anyone do it? It would be like, what's that obstacle course thing people can do?
Ooh, Spartan? No. Ultimate Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Because like you can just do that.
Yeah.
So it'd
You
be
just-
like,
It's just imagine it televised. It would be like, these 6 contestants. And it would be like, John, Jim, Amy, blah, blah. And then it would like go over John. He'd be like, hi, I'm a English teacher. I like to punch things and I like trampolines. And they'd be like, all right, John. And
who are you gonna be up against? And they bring out some like professional UFC. Like,
They bring out, yeah, Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
Because his big fight's coming up.
I would love to just see people bouncing around trying to take on like actual fighters.
Mm-hmm.
To see it's
If
even
you-
footing.
If you knock someone out like on the ground, if you like grab them by the foot and bring them down,
yeah.
and you like knock them out and kick the shit out of them on the ground, you're out of there,
Oh.
disqualified.
Okay, that makes sense.
But it's also blood sport.
So you could die.
So yeah,
There's no
You could
there's
die.
no like calling off. Like if you're just
no, there's no refs in there. There's just like dudes over PA systems like, okay, stop. He's out. Stop, please.
and then after you take every one person out, you chug a beer
Yeah. Yeah.
to keep first place from getting too far ahead.
Yeah. And then if there's like last 2 people left, they kind of like start taking the trampoline away, and under the trampoline is just spikes.
God.
So
But
it's
it
like,
starts like closing in.
yeah, it's no, it's like a pool cover.
Mhm.
It's like the pool cover slowly goes away, and that's what the trampoline is like.
No.
And then yeah, shit, I was gonna say something. Oh well.
Oh, should move on to the
Yeah.
final segment, I would say.
It's called Bouncy Bounce Death.
Wow, that'll catch on. Yo, let's go watch some Bouncy Bounce Death at the pub tonight.
I can't. Bouncy Bounce Death. The sport of the
BBDD
future.
League.
Okay, let's move on to segment number
2.
2. It writes itself. This is where Mikey and I generate a random actor and genre for each other, and we try and pitch our movie ideas to Hollywood. Who wants to go first, Mikey? Go first.
Sure. Pick some for me then.
Sure. Oh, you got Jennifer Lawrence
Okay, everyone's favorite.
in a spinning the wheel. Actually, this is weird.
Okay.
Tarantino directed silent film, but they have been rumored
Oh.
to be starting a movie.
Okay.
J-Law, Tarantino directed silent film.
So, Tarantino, you know, he takes a lot from other films and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Not very original, some would say. And his best aspect is dialogue.
Yeah.
So, taking that away, he needs to challenge himself now on his 9th film. So he decided, hey, I'm gonna do a silent film.
My God, Tarantino.
He's like, Jennifer Lawrence in there. And
Ladies and gentlemen, we've invited Quentin Tarantino on the
got
podcast.
a real weird looking chin. So gets Jennifer Lawrence in there. So the film opens, classic black and white skyline of New York City.
Okay.
But it's modern times still.
Okay.
But, Jennifer Lawrence plays a mute. Can't speak.
Also, she... Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay.
So, she communicates with everyone with sign language.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's pretty much her doing her day-to-day life. She gets up in the morning, goes out, and everyone's, like, talking to her or whatever as she's on her way to work. Everyone knows they're like, hey, but there's no sound.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, like miming. It's hard to describe a silent film.
You have to be
miming at her, but they're clearly speaking stuff, but she just can't hear them, and she's, like, signing stuff to them.
Uh-huh.
Turns out... she's in the mafia.
Nice.
Yeah, so she is the daughter of the godfather of the Ravioli family.
No, ravioli.
Famous
family.
for their ravioli. Ravioli's ravioli is what is their front.
Oh, yeah.
For all their drug businesses and stuff.
It's got to be a restaurant.
Because as we know, New York City's still run by the mafias.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the daughter of the godfather, played, of course, by John Goodman.
Yes.
So she gets in. He's like, miming at her, fucking freaking out, getting all mad like John Goodman does. And she's like signing, and it's like a little title card comes up, and she's like, what?
You choose John Goodman, who's known for his yell in a silent film.
Exactly. These people want to challenge themselves.
That's true.
So... he's freaking out, and a little title thing comes up, and it's like, you were supposed to get the money yesterday. And Jennifer Lawrence signs back, and it's like, oh, yeah, don't worry, I'll get it today. So she heads out on her mission to meet with the opposing family in town.
Mm-hmm.
Some other Italian name. It's Tonlio.
The what?
Their last name is the Antonio family.
Oh, okay, yeah. And
so
Antonio.
She heads over. The godfather of this family, Antonio Banderas.
Yes, obviously.
And he's just sitting there. He's like, oh, you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding. But silent. And then she's like, ha, fucking real funny, quoting goddamn Godfather.
Oh, yeah.
But signing it. Just okay, every line I say someone says from now on, just imagine it as a title card or her signing it with subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So then she's like, haha, just stop fucking around. Give us the money. You haven't paid us in weeks for the drug shipments we've been giving your boys. And he's like, yeah, the funny thing about that is you ain't getting your money. And she's like, what the fuck does that mean? My dad's not going to be happy. And then he's like, yeah, your dad ain't going to be doing anything. And they bring in John Goodman and like throw him on the floor. No. And she's like, oh God, Dad, what's going on? And then they just fucking execute John Goodman right there, blow his brains out, like super, way too violent because it's Tarantino.
Tarantino-ass shit.
Black and white brains splatter all over the fucking floor. She's like, oh God. And then she like starts like running out. She gets shot in the leg or something, but she still manages to get away thanks to friend of the family, Chris Pine.
Okay.
Playing Little Tony.
Lil Tony. These names are the best.
So they make their getaway. And they go to their safe house. Run by Tarantino, playing
awesome.
Talkie Johnny.
Is it Tarantino as he looks now?
Yes.
So like super old, gross looking mullet
yeah,
shit
exactly.
that he has going on.
He couldn't be bothered to like change anything. So yeah, it's we'll make him Greasy Johnny.
Greasy Johnny.
He's just sitting there, all his greasy long hair.
Yeah.
They greased it up even more. And he's just like, hey, what the fuck's going on? And they're like, oh. Like the shit's going down. They fucking killed half of the mafia. So then
the raviolis.
Yeah, exactly. The
Rivolis.
Rivolis, that was it. Rivolis. Their whole ravioli front has been fucking destroyed. They bombed it.
No.
See, they go back, or they turn on the news and see like the flaming wreckage of it, and they see
the news reporter. The title card is just like, it's a horrible fire, but it smells real good.
And then they see illiterate Eddie coming out. And see illiterate Eddie, whenever he speaks, the title cards have like messed up writings in them.
Yeah. That's something he would do.
And they're like, no, listen, we need backup here. I forget the family name of Antonio Banderas. Antonio's family. They're making big moves. They're trying to take over the city. I hear they're going to make a move on the fucking mayor. The mayor, played by Harvey Keitel.
Yes.
They're like, the mayor's getting old. Some say he shouldn't even be doing his job anymore.
Much like Harvey Keitel.
But hey, who are we to judge? We can't let that happen because the mayor's in our pocket. He helps us get our drugs out there in those ravioli cans.
Right.
So pretty much this just goes on and on. They make a
Sorry, they don't make homemade ravioli. They make like canned shitty microwave.
Well, what? If they made homemade ravioli, what are they going to put drugs inside the pouches of the ravioli? Oh, they could do that too.
Oh my god, yeah.
See, if someone comes to get ravioli from them, they do that. But they also sell the cans, but the cans are just, there's not actual ravioli in them at all.
Right, okay.
There's like a few pieces, and then
On
you just
top.
pour that out, and then the packet of drugs is in there.
Nice.
So yeah, then they do some moves and shoot up some of the places with Greasy Johnny's friends. I keep forgetting people's names.
Greasy Johnny's Quentin.
Yeah, because Greasy Johnny was at the safe house.
Right.
He's their guy that
Yes.
like hooks them up with some other people from other cities and stuff.
Right, so it's Greasy Johnny and Lil Tony.
Little Tony, and I didn't even give Jennifer Lawrence a name, did I?
No, she's something Rivoli.
She's
Is she just
Sophia.
Okay.
Sophia Rizzoli. So she
The hand gesture.
She poses as a waitress.
Mm-hmm.
She wears like a wig and changes her like makeup all completely. And she's like, because the Antonio family's having a big dinner, a big spaghetti feast at their local Italian place.
The Tarantino scene. Like
Yeah.
the Inglourious Basterds bar scene.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah,
the
yeah.
diner scene.
And then like she's like walking around like with the drinks, like giving everyone at the table their drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Looking around, she looks into the corner, and there's Greasy Johnny there with his hat over his eyes, looking up, and he like nods.
God, he's so greasy.
Looks to the kitchen. Little Tony's in there, flipping the meatballs, throwing the dough.
Fuck's sake.
He gives the go ahead too. She finally gets up to Mr. Antonio himself. He's sitting there, and he's like, "Oh, what the fuck is taking so long?" But I don't know why I'm doing an accent for subtitle or for title cards.
No one will.
She's like, she just doesn't say anything because she can't.
Mm-hmm.
Then she finally takes it away, and she still has a tray in her other hand. And she like goes to put it down, lifts it up. It's a plate of spaghetti, and then she just like starts walking back to the kitchen. Dives back into the kitchen right as he's going to fork into the spaghetti.
Shit.
There's a bomb, and it just fucking blows up like half
Their
of the
whole-
Antonio family.
Fuck yeah.
The rest get up, pull out their guns, but Quentin's boys all get up, Johnny's boys, just fucking gun them all down.
Yes.
And then finally, like, little Tony comes up, spits on Antonio's fucking blown up corpse.
he's like barely
how's
there.
that for a spaghetti dinner?
Jesus.
And then, oh no, but right after it blows up, too, before Johnny and his boys get up to shoot everyone, he's like, "Now that was a spicy meatball." Shoots everybody. Just horribly gory, horrible shit. They get their stuff back together. The mayor is ecstatic. He's like, "Okay, you guys, you got this under control," because I was getting fucking worried.
Yeah.
They all excessively swear. They say the N-word a lot.
For no odd reason.
Because they have, like, a black guy in their gang.
Sure.
And, of course, it's a Quentin Tarantino movie
So
now,
he's... And then he'll
Samuel L.
defend it and be
Jackson
like,
is the guy.
oh, yeah.
The
he's gotta be in it.
old wise man
Mm-hmm.
of the Rivoli family. So, yeah, then it just kind of goes on. They've reestablished the status quo.
Mhm.
Antonio family's gone. It kind of just ends.
Nice. That's a straight up Tarantino movie.
And it is
Title.
called.
Give
me a second. This is a tough one to name.
He does have unique titles.
The Silent Gangster.
Yeah, okay. I can see it. Quentin.
I wanted to say Silence in Italy. Or Silence in Little Italy. There we go.
Silence in Little Italy. Yeah.
That's better.
Little Italy.
Because I was going to say Italy, but they weren't in Italy.
No.
Okay. Moving on.
Bring it on.
Bring it on. Adam Sandler.
No, fuck off.
In. Hold on. That was another silent film, so I didn't feel that would be okay. This is good. A surfer action movie starring Adam Sandler.
The surfer action movie with Adam Sandler.
It's clear, goes hand in hand.
Okay. Exterior beach.
Okay.
Adam Sandler is the main star.
Mm-hmm.
He's Brody.
Just Brody's.
Or no. Sky Brody.
Okay,
that's
Sky
his name.
Brody.
And he owns a board shop.
Mm-hmm.
And they all rent boards from him, all the surfer dudes.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there waxing his board. And some guy goes up, he's like, dude, I need a board, brah. And he steps up and he's like, this, fuck. Adam Sandler steps up, he's like, sick, dude. All right, I'll hook you up. And then he goes, and he's like,
God.
This is just his normal day. And like cops come to the beach and they're like, hey, we heard someone saw a guy with a gun on the beach. And Adam Sandler's like, I ain't seen shit, dude. You pigs.
You pigs.
Pigs, brah. And then they're like, okay, that's unnecessary. A little rude. We were just asking a question. And then they go away, and Adam Sandler, he goes to walk back to his car. It's the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy puts a bag over his head, and they're like, you're coming with me, bruh. Everyone in this movie speaks like the stereotypical I can't talk.
God.
Surfer dude.
Mm-hmm.
So he throws him in like the back of the van. They drive off. He's like, bro, where you taking me? I was just about to go home and smoke that sticky, icky, good.
It's just the biggest fucking stereotypes.
He's like, shut up. And they grab him, they throw him out of the van. He's like, and then he hears him squeal away. And he's, what? Takes the bag off. In front of him is
just think of Adam Sandler's friends.
Kevin James.
Yes, okay.
And Kevin James has like super long flowing blonde hair. Like down to the nape of his back?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that long.
Okay.
And he's like, bro, I heard you own a surfer shop on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Yeah. Cool. Anyway, and then he is like, I also heard you're the best goddamn surfer out there. That I gave that life up.
I just sell boards now.
Yeah, he just sells boards. He doesn't actually like to scoot around. It's too extreme for him on the waves. He had a near drowning accident.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's gonna have a tragic backstory that we find out later.
Yeah. And shit. He's like, well, there's this rival surfer gang that's been trying to take over the beach. Yeah, because see, Mikey, you don't get the surfer lifestyle, okay? I get it, you don't. Yeah. They're very territorial. If any new person tries to show up and like learn how to surf, they're like, fuck you, dude. You weren't born under the surfboard.
See, I thought this was going into like they were gonna be like, we need you to help us out on this heist and surf away. It would be like Fast and Furious with surfers.
Oh Jesus. No.
But no, rival gangs. This is
Rival
better.
gangs. So the other rival gang, David Spade, is the leader. And he actually just has his normal hair because his hair is already blonde and wavy. But he's got like a goofy goatee. Actually, does he always?
Yeah.
Okay.
He has a goofy goatee.
Then it's just David Spade. They put like no wigs or makeup on him. He's just David Spade.
I like that all these surfers are Adam Sandler and friends, so they're like 45 years old now, or 50 or however old they are.
So then he's like, they've been going on our turf and like fucking with our shit, bro.
Shredding our waves.
Yeah, they've been oh, fuck. They've been getting pitted, bro. And then Adam's like, well, what do you want me to do about it? He's like, listen to me, Sky Brody. I heard you're the most tubular dude out there. Actually, that wasn't me fucking up my speech. Kevin James has a stutter.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, and they go back to the beach, and David Spade is there, like, hitting on the women with his gang of dudes. His gang is just, fuck. I don't.
Chris Rock's there.
Sure. It's like Chris Rock, Taylor Lautner.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Taylor Lautner would fit.
Yeah, because he's already part of Ridiculous fucking 6.
I think he's in like every one of their movies now.
Oh, and Grown Ups.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they meet, and they're like, I thought this was my beach, bruh. That's my David Spade. And Kevin James is like, we've been here since the dawn of time. You can't see it, but I'm doing like the hang loose sign almost every
sentence.
every sentence. And then behind Kevin James walks out Adam Sandler, and David Spade's like, oh shit, bruh. That's Sky Brody. He's like, you know what? You can have this beach, but you gotta shred some waves. And since he's like, I don't do that anymore, he's like, fine, okay, maybe I will. I'll do it this one time. And David Spade and Adam go out, and he's like finally on his old board that actually has like a chunk taken out the back from a shark attack.
Oh, God.
So he gets out there on his board, and David Spade is like, big one's coming. They don't call me Lil Kahuna for nothing.
Lil Kahuna.
He's not a big guy, so he's Lil Kahuna.
Mm-hmm.
And his brother lives in New York, Lil Tony. Anyway, and then they hit this wave, and Adam Sandler, he freaks out. It's too much for him. He falls, and it's like, Kevin James is pissed. He's like, no, I took a gamble on him. It didn't pay off. David Spade's like, this is my beach now. Get out of here, you pieces of shit. And then they leave, and Adam Sandler's like, I'm so sorry. It's just when I was young, I went out on my board with my best friend, Sky and Life. My brother, sorry. Life Brody and Sky Brody. And he got eaten by sharks, and I almost got eaten, but I survived, and I vowed never to go out on the waves again. I just don't get that rush anymore. And Kevin James is like, it's okay, we'll take that beach back. And then they like suit up with guns and shit. This is how much this beach means to them. And then they go and they go to take their beach back, and Kevin James and Adam Sandler and the rest of their gang just shoot the shit out of the beach. Like, David Spade is like, dude, what the fuck? We're just surfers. What the Like, our gang wasn't a real gang. Jesus Christ. And then Adam Sandler's like fucking gunning him down. And he's like killing David Spade's gang. Just boom, boom, boom. And David Spade, like, he keeps a gun for safety. And he hops into Adam Sandler's shack that's full of the surfboards. Yeah. And Adam Sandler just guns down his shack. He's got like a fucking machine gun. And then he like comes up to the shack. He rips David Spade out through like the bar area. He rips him out, throws him on the ground, and he's like, "This is a fucking beach, bruh. I don't surf here anymore, but I damn well will sell my boards." Mm-hmm. And then David Spade, he's like shot, but he's like, "What boards? You've thrown away everything." And then he looks around, he turns around, and he's like, "Oh shit, I was so caught up in the moment." He looks at it, it's like his shop is destroyed, and he's like, "What have I done? The surfer life, it's taken over."
The surfer life.
This is how surfers are, Mikey.
This escalated from them having a little surfing competition to them coming back and gunning everybody down.
You just don't get how gnarly that life really is, bruh.
How important the beach is.
And he like just throws the gun down in the sand, and you can hear like police sirens in the distance. And he's like, "Take me away, just take me away." So he gets arrested, and like 5 years later, cuts to him. He's in prison, and then some guy walks up. He's like Who's Tough as Nails actor, like jacked.
Ving Rhames.
Oh, I was gonna say From the Dead, but I was thinking Michael Clark Duncan. Sorry, Ving Rhames comes up. "I got a job for you, Sky Brody. How do you know my name? Everyone knows you, dog, bruh." Sorry. And then he's like this. Fuck. Okay, this prison has like a tidal pool. A tidal.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, where you can practice surfing. And he's like, "We're planning the most extreme breakout ever. Are you in?" And Adam Sandler looks up, stares dead in the camera, and he's like, "I'm in." Cut to black. Set up the sequel.
So it will become Fast and Furious with surfers, it seems.
Yeah. This is the title. It'll be called like Gangs of Gnarly Beach, or just yeah, it's Gangs of Gnarly Beach. Sure.
Lord. Yep. Gnarly Beach.
Yep.
That's the go-to surf spot.
Oh, this is directed by Michael Bay.
Oh, awesome.
So after Transformers, this is what he's doing.
That would make sense.
Gangs of Gnarly Beach.
Can't get over. They lost a surfing competition. They decided to kill. Did like Taylor Lautner and Chris Rock? They're dead.
Oh, they're dead. Oh, deader than fucking dead can be.
Was there no civilians at this beach?
Oh yeah, there was probably a few. Like it was late night, like camping.
They couldn't
like,
see the people they were shooting.
Yeah,
they just...
true. And that's why he's in prison.
Wait, you said they're planning a breakout.
The most extreme prison breakout.
So they have a pool in the prison?
That's what. Yeah, they have a tidal pool in the prison. Yeah,
that's nice. That's a nice prison.
It's because it's like a specific prison where they just throw in surfer dudes.
Or like Olympic swimmers.
Yeah.
Michael Phelps cameos.
Yeah.
He was arrested for his drug usage.
Yep.
He's like, "I need the pool to swim, practice my swimming." Well, I think that was 2 good pitches today.
Yeah.
It's the first week we've had 2 pretty solid ones. Okay, so yeah, should probably wrap it up now.
Yep, this has been episode 4 of the Bottom Shelf Podcast.
Any closing thoughts?
See Baby Driver.
Yeah, see Baby Driver. At least see it while you're waiting for them to make these films for Silence in Little Italy and Gangs of Gnarly Beach.
Gangs of Gnarly Beach. Alrighty. Until next time. Oh, wait. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch at Bottom Shelf Cast. Cool.
Yeah, we'll see you next time, next week, same place.
Same place, same time. Okay. Bye.
See ya.